On Wednesday, Adelphia Communications founder John Regas and his two sons were arrested for looting $1 billion from the company. Wow. Is there anything more touching than the thought of a father and his boys serving quality time together? You know, my cable provider is Adelphia. I wonder what channel Court TV is on. You know, the good news is all this is that watching accused corporate crooks get dragged off in handcuffs persuaded investors on Wednesday to start buying stocks again. Interesting concept. Put these guys in stocks, and stocks go up. I say we arrest 2 a day until the Dow gets back above 10,000. You know, it's been a tricky week on Wall Street, with the Dow Jones going up and down like the EKG of a burping hummingbird. Now, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but from WorldCom execs hiding losses like they were frozen Three Musketeer bars in Anna Nicole Smith's house to Arthur Anderson shredding paper like Captain Hook rolling a joint, Americans are finally putting corporate culture under the microscope, and they still can't see their investments. You know, as our government goes over the books from the previous years, we are learning some new things. We're discovering that not only do the good times not last forever, but sometimes they never even existed in the first place. One reason for the recent corporate scandals is that the late 90s boom years created a culture in which a company's head honchos could basically do whatever they wanted. They were their own moral compass. They could make their own rules. They could break their own rules. They could go as far outside the box as their restless spirits longed to soar. They were living in one nonstop SUV commercial. Now, throughout the 80s and 90s, CEOs were treated like rock stars. Unfortunately, we've now reached the point on the Behind the Music CEO episode where the ominous voice says, but just then, Enron board member Vince Neil decided they needed to go out for more beer. The democratization of the stock market in some respects has turned many workers into their own executioner. And don't even ask me what that sentence meant. But by having a 401k invested in the company they worked for, they ended up rooting for the stock to rise, even if it meant having to be laid off in order to accomplish that. Not only did they end up losing their jobs, they had to compliment their boss's business acumen for doing it. You can tell the difference between pre- and post-Enron corporate America, where previously annual reports were elaborate, richly colored, multimedia presentations. Today, many corporations simply send out a one-page mimeograph of the Fifth Amendment. Look, I've got no beef with people making money. What baffles me is how shocked everyone seems to be that all these CEOs were carrying on under-the-table deals. These guys are more adept under the table than Julie Christie in the movie Shampoo. Hey, if you were pulling in 10 figures a year and you started to see your dynasty crumble like a Ritz cracker in a Jiminy Glick's back pocket, wouldn't you cook the books at 451 degrees Fahrenheit? As a matter of fact, you don't even have to cook the books anymore. You just have to simmer them, because in present-day working-class world of corporate accounting, red is the new black. There are exceptions, of course. The antithesis of the CEO as rock star has got to be Warren Buffett. Doesn't drive a fancy car, stays away from the hottest trends, invests in boring things like carpeting and insurance, sublimates any eccentric or flashy impulses by building a massive underground lair, staffed by genetically engineered meerkats who will one day rule the globe when mankind destroys itself through nuclear war. Come on, I can't be the only one who reads his annual reports all the way through. I put all my money in Jimmy Buffett. I don't know how the stock's doing, but the shareholder meetings are an ass kicker. Now, as someone who has lost 2 jobs this year, let me say I am not just jumping on the economic downturn bandwagon. I'm fucking driving it, okay? But Unfortunately, as our system stands, the one who always ends up shafted is the little guy, not the billionaire CEO. It's the 50-year veteran, the guy who started working at the foundry when it was just 2 steamy, cramped rooms in someone's basement, but slowly inched his way up to assistant foreman through sheer elbow grease. Now he's 30 seconds away from retirement. The company's going bankrupt, and his pension fund is emptier than the stands at a Chumbawanga concert. So he's got to get a second job bussing tables at one of those panda shit Chinese food joints. So I don't want to see some CEO going to jail for 3 years at a minimum security prison that doubles as a community college during the day. I want them to witness the damage they caused up close. I think they should be sentenced to community service, sorting the shoe bin at a Goodwill in a low-income neighborhood to get a sense of how real people have to get by. Make Kenneth Lay work the drive-through window at the Jack in the Box so I can literally hear that lying bastard's voice coming out of a clown's mouth. Just don't... Just don't drive away without checking that you got everything you ordered. What I'd actually like to see is these guys doing hard time in hard prison. See how they like it when we let the warden get creative with the books, keeping track of their sentences. You want to make sure this doesn't happen again? Put these losers in with the general prison population who are doing 10 to 20 for stealing a scintilla of what these guys did. Then make sure there's a live Big Brother shower cam feed into every other CEO's office in the country. You're going to think twice about cheating the numbers when you spot your ex-golf partner all lathered up with a wind chime hanging from his ass. Of course, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.